So far this evening has been the kind of uneventful evening that Chicago police, peacekeepers, and people here in Streeterville had hoped for. That so-called teen takeover that had been advertised on social media to begin earlier this evening never materialized, and that may be at least in part because of a significant presence by Chicago police. On a holiday Friday night, the sidewalks of Streeterville swarmed with people.
We live in an area where there are restaurants and there's lots of entertainment, but we can't enjoy our own neighborhood if we have to be so scared.
That's why there was an undeniable show of force from the Chicago Police Department, performing an afternoon roll call outside the movie theater, standing at the ready on every block along East Illinois to establish a clear presence after large gatherings of young people in recent weeks have turned violent. A teenager shot in one of them.
I think it makes me feel less safe just because it was an overwhelming amount of policemen. So that definitely tells you something's not normal. They're here because something is a threat.
To help mitigate any threat, the city set up what's called geofencing around this small section of Streeterville until 10 p.m. Friday, after Chicago police say they learned groups of young people were taking ride shares to the so-called teen takeover locations. It prevents drivers from dropping off or picking up. Rideshare scooters effectively come to a screeching halt at the perimeter. Chicago's former emergency management director says the tactic has proven helpful.
If you make it a little bit more challenging for these kids, then hopefully they'll find something else that's more constructive to do.
That's also what Rodney Phillips and his group of peacekeepers are out to help do.
If we run into any teens, engage them and just stand on top to make sure no altercations, nobody is victimized, and nobody is arrested.
Now, that geofencing was set to expire right around now. There is still a noticeable presence from Chicago police out here, at least 24 officers, mostly concentrated in front of the movie theater. Now, between this geofencing, peacekeepers, and the police presence, these are all tactics that the police department will continue to tweak as they develop their safety plan heading into the busy summer months.